Sure, approximately 12:15 today, San Diego Police Communications received a call of gunshots here at 330 Park Boulevard, which is the Central Library. Officers from our Central Division responded. Upon their arrival, they located two gunshot wound victims here at this location. They immediately began rendering aid. One of the victims was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The other victim, unfortunately, was treated here at the scene and did pass away from his injuries. At that point, obviously the homicide unit became involved. We responded out here and began our investigation.
Do we have a suspect in custody?
At this point, there is no suspect in custody. We're obviously working through to figure out exactly what happened. The best information that we have based on our preliminary investigation is that there was some sort of interaction right in the foyer of the library, right in the entrance, during which our suspect produced a firearm and began firing at the people that were there, obviously striking two of them. We have a very limited description of our suspect right now. The best I can give you is a black male in dark clothing, unknown age. However, as you can all see, there's quite a bit of video and quite a bit of investigative things we can do here to hopefully get that person identified and get them in custody.
Do we have any idea if this was a random situation or if the victim and the gunman knew each other?
Yeah, we're not quite right there yet about figuring out exactly what happened. We do have quite a few witnesses that were here that are being cooperative and talking to us. So have detectives with them right now to hopefully sort out exactly what happened and what sparked this off. Obviously, two people shot at the library here in the middle of the day is unacceptable. So we're devoting all of our resources. We have specialists here from our robbery unit pulling video. We're working with our partners locally here, MTS. All the businesses around here, everyone's been very accommodating so we can figure out who this suspect is and get them in custody.
Was a weapon found, or do we still consider the suspect to be armed?
The weapon has not been recovered at this point.
And all of this took place inside of the library, in the foyer area, or directly outside?
Our best understanding is in the foyer of the library and potentially expanding out into the street there in front of the library.
What about the third victim? There's a third person that was fired at. Do we know anything about that person?
We're still figuring out exactly who was there and who was the intended target of this. I mean, obviously we know two people were hit, trying to figure out who they were with, who else could have been in that area that could also be a potential victim of this.
Was there a robbery involved at the time?
We're still sorting out exactly what sparked this off, what precipitated this. I don't think we have a great understanding about that right now. But as with every investigation like this, we have to work through it methodically with our detectives, getting information and then gathering things that can build to new information. So hopefully we can figure out and put together exactly what happened.
Lieutenant, do you think that pink ski mask has anything to do with the shooting? It's marked. Some witnesses say that they saw the suspect with a pink ski mask. Is that something?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely potentially involved, which is why we have an officer securing it. We will collect it as part of this. So again, that's why we push these perimeters out pretty good to see if we can collect everything that could potentially lead to the suspect.
At this point, does it feel like it is a targeted attack, or should we all be essentially, sheltering in place because there's a gunman on the loose?
Yeah, I mean, I understand your question. I think the question is, hey, did someone just randomly start shooting? I think it's a little preliminary to jump in and say when I can't tell you exactly what started this or what brought it up. It does seem like there was some sort of interaction at the front of the library. Whether they knew each other, whether there was some sort of something leading up to it, we're just not quite there yet. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. With all these investigations, the end goal is a successful prosecution. Apprehension and successful prosecution. We have to slow down and work things methodically and collect them in a way that they're usable in court. So it can be, I'm sorry, I'll just ramble for a second, but it can be slow, it can be methodical, it can seem very deliberate, and it is by design, so that when we find this person, they can be convicted of this crime.
What is the message to all the folks that live right here?
I think the message is that the San Diego Police Department has devoted an extraordinary amount of resources to this homicide, as we do to every homicide. We have everyone here. We have detectives from our area command. We have all of our regional partners. Everyone, this is a coordinated effort to get this person in custody. And I think that we're doing a significant amount of work. So I hope that the citizens of San Diego are reassured by that and reassured by the amount of devotion that we have to getting this person in custody and doing it quickly.
Any information on the victim?
About the victim? I mean, was this a person going to the library to study or to check out some books,
Yeah.
or was this a homeless person from the community?
Yeah,
What
thank
do
you
we
for
know
bringing that
about
up.
this
So
person?
we do have a preliminary identification on our victim who did pass away. The best information I have is potentially he's a 20-year-old black male. We believe we may have spoken to family already. Again, that's very preliminary. Until the medical examiner comes along and confirms, we're not quite there on confirming who this person is. And the last thing that I want to do is tell a family that their loved one's dead and they're not. So we do have to work through that slow, but that is the best understanding right now. The other victim is a 24-year-old black male. That's all the information that I have on him at this point. I can't release either potential name at this point. A question over
Do
here?
they have a residence, or does the victim have a residence? Do they know where he lives?
I'm not sure.
Is there a possibility that the suspect jumped on public transit onto a trolley? I mean, do you work with MTS in that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. MTS is a terrific partner of ours, and they're already involved. They're already looking through to see if they can potentially give us a lead on this. Absolutely.
Have the police actually looked at surveillance video yet? I mean, there's so many cameras in this area. I know you mentioned you do have a lot of video. Have you viewed that video yet?
I have not. We're definitely doing that right now as we speak. One of the first things to do when everyone gets here is get everybody aligned. What information do we have? And then we disperse out. I come over and talk to you, and the detectives go out and they start doing their thing. So they are looking at video right now. They are trying to see how we can track the suspect, what information we can get that we can hopefully release here in a follow-up.
Should the public be concerned that the gunman is on the loose?
Well, I mean, I think the question really is what led up to this, and I think it's too early to say whether this was, just a completely random thing, or whether there was some sort of interaction, or whether they knew each other. It's much too early to say and comment on that. I think that the public, should be reassured by the fact that we have all these resources here. When these things happen, especially downtown, in broad daylight like this, a lot of news media show up. So do a lot of police officers, and so we have a lot of resources aligned working on this case.
How long will you guys plan to be here for today, or are the streets going to be blocked off for the rest of the day?
Yeah, this street will be blocked off for at least the next 3-4 hours. Again, like I said, the priority is collection of evidence, so as long as it takes, we'll be out here working through this scene and gathering everything we can to solve it.
Were any security guards involved? Witnesses had said that they had seen at least one pull out a gun.
That's new information to me, so I don't believe that any of us have talked to security. I know there are security in the area, but that would be new to me if they had a gun.
I know you don't know if a robbery was a motive, but you say there was an interaction. Is there anything more you can say? You know there was an interaction. Do you know if the suspect ran up, walked up, talked to the victim?
I don't have all the details yet about what happened. Obviously, that is a huge priority to figure out, hey, what happened here and what led up to this. But again, we have to be careful about jumping to conclusions. Just like I'm constantly telling my detectives, we have to slow down and follow the evidence to where it takes us. We can't jump to an assumption or just say, hey, this is what we think this is. We have to build this up in a way that it's a sustainable case so that someone can be held accountable for it.
The man that's injured, I'm sorry, did you say his condition?
My best understanding is it's non-life-threatening injuries. I'm not sure exactly about where he was injured. I do know that he is at a hospital receiving treatment.
Do we know if the victims knew each other? Were they there together at the library?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're obviously doing a lot of work to conclusively identify our victim, and I don't believe that detectives have been up to the hospital yet because, we're all over the place right now. So when we can get up there, hopefully we can talk to that victim and maybe get a little clarity. And that's what this all is about. It starts out very foggy. It's a very chaotic situation. And then we have to come in and slowly slow it down and gather the evidence that we can and figure out who did this.
2 quick questions. Lieutenant, how many shots do you think were fired, if you know?
No idea.
And then who's the gentleman in the white sweater that has been around for a while?
Witness.
Witness. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Don't forget your microphone.